After a long day at the office, where the hum of fluorescent lights and the rustle of legal documents had been her constant companions, Sarah felt a deep longing for the serene embrace of her apartment. The city's vibrant pulse enveloped her as she moved through the lobby, each step a soft echo against the marble, a quiet testament to the life she had crafted in the wake of her husband's tragic departure. The day of his departure had quietly passed, a moment she honored not with celebration, but with a quiet reflection that left her feeling both contemplative and oddly adrift. The door whispered shut, leaving her in the embrace of home, where the delicate aroma of lavender mingled with the lingering kiss of rain. A secret shared only with the walls around her. The space welcomed her with its sleek contours and soft hues, a sanctuary she had meticulously crafted to embody her achievements and her quiet appreciation for refined simplicity. This was the refuge she shared with Lucas, her stepson, who had blossomed into a young man beneath her careful gaze. In their shared silence, they found a way to fill the void his father had left behind, a presence once vibrant, now woven into the stillness and the art that whispered stories of what once was. Sarah quietly removed her shoes, her stockinged feet embracing the inviting softness of the rug beneath her. She thought Lucas might be lost in the pages of a book, or tangled in the discussions of a study group, diligently pursuing his degree. The soft flicker of the television beckoned her into the living room, revealing a scene that felt almost dreamlike. On the screen, a moment lingered, a glimpse from her past. A video crafted for her late husband, a whisper of their closeness and a silent vow of the love they once cherished. The figure on the screen mirrored her, yet it was a side she concealed, a woman free from sorrow, vibrant with the thrill of unspoken truths and hushed longings. Lucas perched on the edge of the couch, his muscles coiled tight as he shifted to meet her gaze. The remote control rested forgotten on the coffee table, its ability to halt the unwelcome echoes of her past, feeling almost trivial against the storm of emotions swirling around them. The atmosphere surrounding them crackled with an unspoken awkwardness, and an intriguing pull that neither dared to articulate. Sarah's heart, typically calm and composed, quickened as she grappled with the unfolding moment before her. "Lucas," she started, her voice unwavering, even as a storm of feelings swirled inside her. What could this be? He held his breath, his gaze lingering on hers, seeking a glimmer of understanding, a hint of forgiveness. "Forgive me, Sarah." As I sifted through forgotten files on the screen, a familiar image caught my eye. I never anticipated it would be. I barely glanced, I promise. When I recognized you, a rush of uncertainty washed over me. Sarah's thoughts swirled, a tempest of pain and uncertainty, as the air between them crackled with an unspoken tension. The videos held her secret, a collection of tender moments meant solely for her husband's gaze, a man whose essence lingered like a fleeting shadow in the life she now navigated. With a calmness shaped by countless battles, Sarah inhaled deeply, her eyes locked onto Lucas's, a silent tension hanging between them. "Lucas, this was meant to be just ours. It was intended solely for your father's gaze. You must grasp that this was a secret meant to remain hidden." Lucas nodded, his expression a delicate blend of longing and unease. "I see, Sarah. I shouldn't have opened it, it's best left behind. It shall not occur once more." Sarah offered a brief nod, her thoughts slipping away from the unexpected turn of events. "Perhaps a moment apart would allow us to truly understand what this means. I'll be in my room for a moment. We can discuss this further soon." Without a glance back, Sarah pivoted sharply and glided down the hallway, each step a quiet assertion of her resolve. She shut the door to her bedroom, leaning against it as the weight of the moment enveloped her, a secret too precious to share. In the quiet of her room, Sarah felt the weight of solitude wrap around her, a silence that spoke of secrets untold. The walls, draped in a gentle gray, wrapped around her like a secret, shielding her from the world outside, where unspoken desires lingered just beyond reach. She approached the window, the city below twinkling like stars, each light a whisper of the world that thrived beyond her own hidden turmoil. Her heart, once racing with the thrill of the unforeseen, gradually found a steadier beat. The surprise of discovering Lucas lost in her most intimate thoughts began to wane, giving way to a gentle nostalgia that enveloped her like a cherished embrace. It was a tender ache, laced with the sadness of a connection severed by the whims of destiny. With trembling fingers, Sarah reached for her phone, the sleek device a whisper of a past she had tried to forget. She slipped into a concealed folder, where the cherished videos for her late husband lay, echoes of a love once fierce, a light flickering defiantly against the shadows of his fading days. As she unveiled the folder, the videos welcomed her like familiar whispers, each thumbnail a captured instance of longing and intimacy. With a tremor of uncertainty, she pressed on the first file, the one Lucas had unwittingly discovered. The screen flickered awake, and there she stood, a fleeting glimpse of something unattainable, her past self, brimming with unvoiced desires and hidden truths. Her movements were a delicate dance, hinting at desires unspoken as she ventured into the depths of her own allure. The video played with light and shadow, revealing the soft arch of her spine, the subtle rhythm of her breath, and the way her hair flowed like silk over her shoulders. It was a dance of desire and surrender, a quiet acknowledgement of a love that thrived in the shadows of intimacy. Sarah observed, her gaze lingering on the contours of her on-screen self, a blend of affection and a profound, lingering ache within her heart. The whisper of her breath lingered in the air, a haunting reminder of a past when everything felt right, shared with the one who understood her in ways no one else could. One by one she watched the videos, each a whisper of longing and closeness. In some, she laughed, her eyes glinting with a playful secret as she toyed with the camera, aware of her husband's hidden watchfulness. In their presence she wore a mask of focus. Her brow knitted, lips slightly parted, a silent plea for the man she adored with an intensity that defied all logic. As she delved into those cherished memories, Sarah sensed a delicate weave of emotions stirring within her. Shame lingered in the air, a heavy weight knowing that their secret moments had been observed by another. Lucas, the boy she once nurtured, now stood as a man, complicating everything between them. Yet, entwined with the shame was a whisper of something more, an elusive feeling she struggled to name. There was an undeniable bond with the woman on the screen, a figure who boldly embraced her desires, sharing them only with the one she cherished most. The videos transcended mere physical connection. They danced through time, each moment a whisper of devotion from a woman bound to her love, even as the harsh truth of his condition drew a line between them. They danced on the edge of what should not be, a quiet rebellion against the looming darkness that threatened to consume them. As the last video faded, Sarah felt herself wrapped in a delicate veil of nostalgia. The woman on the screen revealed her essence unrestrained, devoted, and vibrantly alive. She had hidden a part of herself deep within, shielded by the weight of duty and the relentless pace of her life. With a breath that held unspoken secrets, Sarah placed her phone down, her eyes drifting back to the city beneath her. The lights flickered softly, whispering secrets of what could never be. She understood the path before her was laden with obstacles, that the connection with Lucas had been forever transformed by the night's secrets. Yet, as she lingered, the whispers of what once was enveloped her, a bittersweet solace. Sarah understood her strength, the kind that could withstand the weight of this new reality, the kind that would guide her through the shadows of uncertainty and change. The night unfolded like a secret, weaving through her heart, leaving her exposed yet undeniably strong. As she braced for the inevitable conversation, Sarah found solace in the echoes of her late husband's love, a quiet strength that reminded her of the unbreakable ties they had forged. No matter the outcome, she would hold fast to her truth and the essence of their connection. The next evening, the apartment glimmered in the gentle light of dusk, the city skyline beyond Sarah's windows painted in hues of orange, pink, and purple, masking the unspoken tension that lingered in the air. The day slipped away in a haze of obligations, yet as Sarah neared the moment to face the unspoken tension with Lucas, each second stretched endlessly, heavy with anticipation. She drifted through the night, haunted by fleeting glimpses from her secret collection, shadows of the past that clung to her thoughts, impossible to shake off. Choosing to approach Lucas was no simple task, it felt essential, a delicate move to confront the unspoken tension that their newfound connection had woven between them. She stepped into the living room, finding Lucas already there, sitting on the edge of the couch, a tension hanging in the air, his gaze, reminiscent of his father's, locked onto hers, revealing a blend of remorse and a daring intrigue. The atmosphere crackled with unspoken tension, every inhalation laden with the promise of the unknown. "Lucas," Sarah started, her voice a calm facade, concealing the storm that raged beneath. "We must discuss the events of last night. We must embrace the truth between us." He nodded, his eyes falling to his hands, clenched and resting in his lap. "I am familiar with Sarah. I regret what happened. About crossing that delicate boundary. I shouldn't have done that." Sarah settled into her chair, her back straight, exuding an air of confidence, as if she were a skilled advocate poised to make her case. "It's deeper than a mere breach of trust, Lucas. Those videos held a secret intimacy, crafted for a soul who has slipped away. They embody a secret chapter of my existence, one I never meant to unveil to another soul." Lucas's gaze met hers, a fleeting glimpse of the boy he used to be, tender and yearning for her acceptance. "I see your point, Sarah, and I promise I didn't intend to linger as long as I did, but yet I cannot ignore the allure that held me in its grasp. You were a fleeting shadow in my heart, a whisper of what could never be. Exquisite. A part of me yearns to grasp that hidden facet of you, the one my father cherished deeply." Sarah's breath hitched, a silent gasp escaping her lips. The revelation caught her off guard, unleashing a torrent of feelings she had never anticipated facing. A flicker of shock coursed through her at his revelation, yet beneath that surface, a hidden part stirred, drawn in by the earnestness of his words and the intoxicating thrill of being desired by someone entwined with her history. The stillness hung heavy, a tension that whispered secrets only they could hear. Sarah understood that the wisest choice was to end the conversation, to restate the boundaries that had been so unmistakably breached. Yet, as she gazed at Lucas, she perceived not merely the young man who had uncovered her hidden truth, but a connection to the one she had cherished and lost, a man who held her heart in secret, unlike any other. With a quiet inhale, Sarah stepped onto a fragile line, teetering between decorum and the alluring draw of a bond that eluded simple understanding. "Lucas, what you're implying? It's a delicate matter, treading on boundaries that ought to remain untouched. Yet, I grasp the allure, the yearning to connect with someone who has etched their presence into our very souls." Lucas observed her, a flicker of longing mingling with uncertainty in his gaze. "Text. I wish to keep our connection unstrained, Sarah. There's a veil between us, a mystery wrapped in silence about the man he was in your presence. Perhaps sharing those videos could draw me nearer to him, a glimpse into the affection you once held." Sarah's thoughts swirled, her heart quickening at the daring suggestion. It was a daring choice, one that could unravel the delicate balance of their bond. And still, an undeniable sense lingered in the air, a complex reasoning stirred within her, a whisper of desire to keep her late husband's memory alive by intertwining it with the fervor she felt for Lucas. "Very well," she found herself uttering, the phrase strange yet enticing on her lips. "Tomorrow evening, we'll share the videos, but this isn't about indulging in hidden desires or revealing my history. It's a delicate dance of honoring the one we cherished, while navigating the path ahead, forever marked by our shared past." A flicker of hope danced in Lucas's eyes, and he offered a tentative nod. "I swear, Sarah. Your words hold great significance for me. Perhaps more than you understand." Sarah lingered, her choice deepening with every heartbeat. "We'll share a fleeting moment over a single video, then let our thoughts intertwine. This is a fleeting agreement, and we must set some boundaries. Above all, this remains our secret. This must remain our secret." Without hesitation, Lucas nodded, the weight of the moment evident in his expression. "Your secrets are safe with me, Sarah. Your secret is safe with me. Always." As the conditions unfolded, a peculiar tranquility enveloped Sarah. She had chosen her path, and now the weight of that decision would follow her, no matter the outcome. With Lucas beside her, she braced herself to confront her past, aware that the following evening held the promise of both trials and revelations. The morning sun draped the city in a soft glow, its warmth whispering through the high-rise where Sarah found solace. Last night's moments haunted her thoughts, a tapestry of fleeting glances and unspoken feelings that she couldn't shake off, yet struggled to understand. As she readied herself for the day, her mind lingered on the choice she had embraced. A choice that would forever change the unspoken bond between her and Lucas. As the hours passed, Sarah found her mind drifting between the demands of her legal work and the secret scheme she was crafting for later. The thought of sharing her intimate videos with Lucas sent a shiver of exhilaration through her. A delicate dance of excitement intertwined with the weight of their shared sorrow. She felt the weight of the lines they were nearing, yet a thrill coursed through her at the daring of their secret agreement. As the day surrendered to the gentle embrace of dusk, Sarah slipped into her room, readying herself for their clandestine meeting. She chose a black dress from her wardrobe, a fabric that embraced her form intimately, with a neckline that whispered of the allure hidden beneath her polished facade. Her makeup was a careful art, each stroke whispering her resolve to steer the story that was quietly unraveling. The aroma of dinner lingered in the air as Sarah moved gracefully through the kitchen, the soft clink of glass and the gentle sizzle of meat creating a delicate symphony to her artistry. The table was arranged with a careful touch, hinting at her longing to cultivate a space of delicate closeness. Lucas lingered in the doorway, his gaze deepening as he absorbed the moment unfolding within. "You've truly surpassed yourself, Sarah," he said, his eyes lingering on the exquisite table settings and the soft glow of the flickering candles that filled the room with an intimate warmth. "Only the finest for our special situation," Sarah replied, her tone laced with a teasing lightness that masked the unspoken tension between them. As she offered Lucas the glass of deep, ruby wine, her fingers lingered against his, a quiet challenge hanging in the air between them. As they settled at the table, their words danced softly, a surprising intimacy weaving between them. They whispered of beauty, of melodies, of the countless ways the city had woven their lives together. Yet, beneath the light exchange, a shadow lingered, whispering of a yearning that dared not speak its name. "I have to admit," Lucas murmured, his gaze lingering on Sarah's, a silent tension hanging in the air between them as he sipped from his wine glass. "For the past 2 days, those videos have lingered in my mind. It feels as though I've caught a fleeting glimpse of a realm that was never meant for my eyes, a realm that lingers in my thoughts, impossible to forget." Sarah smiled, a delicate arch of her lips that hinted at unspoken secrets. "Curiosity can lead to perilous paths, Lucas. It may guide you to uncharted territories, where desire intertwines with the unspoken. Is that a subtle hint?" he inquired, a teasing smile playing at the edges of his lips. "Think of it as a gentle nudge," Sarah replied, her eyes locked onto his with an intensity that spoke volumes. "We're on the brink of a choice that will forever change everything. Do you truly understand the path that lies ahead?" Lucas locked eyes with her, a quiet intensity radiating from his gaze. "In this moment, certainty envelops me like a secret whisper." Their conversation unfolded like a whispered secret, each phrase tinged with unspoken desires and hidden meanings. As the final bites were savored, and the last drop of wine lingered in the glass, Sarah sensed a stirring within her, a tantalizing blend of thrill and unease that threatened to unravel the delicate mask she wore. As dinner ended, they retreated to the living room, the gentle murmur of the city outside a quiet backdrop to the tempest of feelings swirling in their intimate haven. The screen glowed softly as Sarah opened the video folder, her pulse quickening with the anticipation of what lay ahead. "Remember Lucas," she murmured, her voice a soft caress as she passed him the remote. "This is a tribute to what once was, not a means to take advantage." Lucas nodded, his fingers tightening around the remote, a quiet decision echoing in the air. "I see, Sarah. I will always remember." As the initial frames flickered to life, a thrill of forbidden excitement danced along Sarah's spine. The woman on the screen embodied a passion that burned brightly, undeterred by shadows of despair and heartache. The living room bathed in a soft, golden light, the furniture positioned to foster a closeness, a secret haven against the bustling cityscape visible through the expansive windows. The screen glowed softly, illuminating the space as the sultry notes of a jazz melody wrapped around them like a whispered secret. As the video flickered to life, Sarah, the architect of this moment, felt a thrill coursing through her veins. On the screen, Sarah appeared, a younger, more carefree version of herself, her form enveloped in a white dress that highlighted her curves, radiating an essence of innocence. Her movements flowed like whispers, each step a silent echo of the love and longing that lingered from a past now shrouded in shadows. The dance whispered secrets, a delicate tribute to her allure, and the unspoken bond that tethered her to the man capturing her essence. As the melody rose, Sarah's character embarked on a gradual, intentional unveiling, each garment removed with a teasing allure that danced between innocence and desire. The white dress slipped away, cascading to the floor, unveiling a figure adorned in soft lace that accentuated the elegance of her form and the subtle curves that beckoned in the dim light. Lucas lingered, drawn in by the forbidden allure that danced before him. His gaze lingered on Sarah, her movements weaving a spell that beckoned him closer, each step a quiet promise of uncharted desires. The video captured her essence, hair flowing like a whisper, the delicate outline of her form, and the subtle parting of her lips as she surrendered to the rhythm. Sarah, perched next to Lucas on the couch, found herself stealing fleeting glances at him, her heart racing with unspoken tension. Her attorney's instinct for reading people shifted inward, contemplating how her past shaped the young man, both family and stranger, before her. She noticed the way the video stirred something within him, the slight shift in his stance, the flush that crept across his cheeks, and the undeniable tension that pressed against the fabric of his trousers. The atmosphere thickened with a silent intensity, a charged connection that flickered softly in the space between them. Sarah felt a warmth spread across her cheeks as she sensed the hold she had over Lucas in this fleeting instant, a force that thrilled yet teetered on the edge of calamity. As the video unfolded, the allure of the dance deepened, the interplay of light and shadow caressing Sarah's skin, crafting a scene that captivated the senses. The woman on the screen exuded an intoxicating allure, her every movement a silent testament to the deep yearning she held for the man who had once been her everything. Lucas shifted beside her, breath hitching, eyes fixed on the screen where Sarah's image swayed, shedding layers, lost in the thrill of being wanted by someone absent, unaware of the exquisite vulnerability she offered. Sarah sensed the gravity of the moment, acutely aware that she was revealing something intimate to a figure embodying both her history and the unpredictable path ahead. Granting Lucas a glimpse into her past with his father was a delicate step, intertwining their shared sorrow with the promise of something intricate and new between them. The video concluded just as it started, accompanied by melodies and the gentle, melodic echo of Sarah's laughter. A whisper that lingered, a delicate trace of a love once cherished, now woven into the fabric of time. The screen faded, casting Sarah and Lucas into the soft shadows of the apartment, where silence wrapped around them, a delicate counterpoint to the tumult of feelings ignited by the video. Lucas, eyes fixed on the shadowy television screen, inhaled deeply, seeking a moment of calm amidst the chaos. As he finally uttered a word, his tone carried a blend of wonder and raw longing. "Sarah, I'm at a loss for words. Your beauty was captivating, brimming with an undeniable spark. My father recognized in you a beauty that transcended mere appearances. I've never witnessed a dance so captivating, each movement a whispered secret of longing." Sarah's cheeks warmed at his words, a delicate mix of pride and an awakening desire she hadn't experienced in ages. Lucas's gaze stirred something deep within her, a hidden part she had buried since her husband's departure, too perilous, too vivid to reveal to the world. Lucas turned to her, his gaze probing, seeking a hint, a whisper that might reveal if their path was secure or perilous. "I understand this may not be the best thing to say, and I hope you see my intentions clearly, but I yearn to uncover the essence of you, beyond the fleeting image that lingers in my mind. To stand before such exquisite allure, it's mesmerizing." The room felt smaller, the walls tightening as Sarah absorbed his words. The atmosphere crackled, laden with the allure of a connection that was both thrilling and quietly forbidden. She understood that Lucas's request, the longing in his eyes, hinted at a boundary that, once breached, would forever alter their path. For a fleeting instant, Sarah paused, caught between the weight of convention and the irresistible tug of her desires. A yearning to be wanted, to savor the thrill of being the focus of another's most secret, passionate cravings. It was a whisper in the shadows, a pull that drew her closer to a path shrouded in mystery and danger. And then, with a quiet determination that whispered from the depths of her heart, Sarah chose her path. The night unfolded like a delicate dance of secrets and whispered connections, and she was determined to hold on to the fragile spark between them. She had always tread carefully, but tonight, she would surrender to the allure of the unexpected. As she rose from the couch, her movements echoed the elegance of her on-screen counterpart. Sarah locked eyes with Lucas, her gaze steady and unyielding. "Text please, Lucas, look at me, truly see me just as I am." With that, she started to sway, her form gliding to a melody known only to her. Every movement, every gentle curve, whispered of allure and an unspoken connection that lingered in the air. As she glided, Sarah's hands found the edge of her black dress, fingers skillfully teasing the fabric until it slipped away, cascading to the floor, revealing a red lingerie set that was both bold and exquisite. Lucas remained still, his breath caught as he beheld Sarah, the true Sarah, moving gracefully before him. The crimson lace whispered secrets of her daring spirit, a quiet beckoning meant only for him. The delicate interplay of lace and satin whispered secrets, tracing the silhouette of her form with a grace that was both refined and tantalizing. The air crackled with unspoken words, heavy with the sweetness of Sarah's perfume, and an undeniable longing that lingered in the space between them. As she swayed, Sarah embraced a thrill long forgotten, a spark that flickered only in the shadows of her past, when her late husband had been her sole admirer. She wielded power, shaping her own fate, and the intoxicating awareness of Lucas's unwavering gaze stirred a desire within her to delve deeper into the uncharted territory between them. Lucas found himself entranced by the sight that unfolded before him. Sarah's essence, her allure, her undeniable spark, was beyond anything he had ever imagined possible. He observed, captivated, as she glided with an elegance and assurance that left him speechless. As the final notes faded, Sarah stood before Lucas, breathless from the dance, her skin warm with an exhilarating rush. In a fleeting glance, the walls they had built to shield their hearts crumbled, leaving only the raw truth of their connection exposed. With a thrill that danced on the edge of danger, Sarah stepped closer, her eyes locked onto Lucas's, a silent promise hanging in the air. His gaze held a flicker of yearning, echoing the unspoken ache within her that had grown too intense to overlook. The air thickened around them, the distance between their hearts shrinking until it vanished. In a moment that felt both fleeting and eternal, their lips brushed softly, igniting a fire that whispered of secrets untold. Their lips met, a whisper of longing and hidden truths, a moment that danced around the edges of their reality, savoring the magnetic pull that drew them closer despite the shadows looming over them. The kiss intensified, drawing Sarah into a tempest of feeling. The heat radiating from Lucas, the sweetness of his kiss, the way his hands moved with a quiet urgency along her waist, her hips, tracing the soft curve of her form. They were drawn together, each craving the touch that could dissolve the distance between what was and what could be, fueled by an unspoken longing. Their touch was a whisper of danger, a fragile dance that ignited a longing deep within, leaving them both gasping for what lay just beyond reach. In that fleeting instant, a spark ignited, one that would forever alter their fates. As the heat of their kiss faded, Sarah leaned away, her gaze probing Lucas's for a hint of remorse, a whisper of acknowledgement for the weight of their shared moment. Yet, what met her gaze was merely the echo of her own profound longing, a yearning to be acknowledged, to be desired, to experience love in its purest form. The hush between them spoke volumes of their secret, yet neither could find the strength to step back from the edge they had so eagerly approached. Their choice lingered, a silent force that throbbed in sync with the quiet beats of their hearts. Sarah's breath quickened, the intensity of Lucas's gaze igniting a thrilling tension within her. She faced him, draped in scarlet lace that highlighted her every curve, a quiet declaration of the boldness that had blossomed within her. Lucas, his gaze heavy with unvoiced desire, reached out to softly trace the curves of her hips, his fingers brushing against the fine lace that embraced her form. Their fingers brushed, igniting a thrill that made Sarah catch her breath, her body leaning into his touch with a yearning that brooked no uncertainty. She whispered his name, a secret held close to her heart. Lucas whispered, his voice a soft echo that stirred something deep within her. Your beauty surpasses my wildest dreams, a vision I never thought possible. His words held a sincerity that melted away Sarah's doubts, while the vulnerability in his gaze drew her closer, leaving her breathless. She moved closer, her fingers brushing against the solid warmth of his chest. Under her touch, the warmth of his heartbeat pulsed softly, a secret cadence that mirrored the quickening of her own heart. With an unexpected daring, Sarah traced the lines of Lucas's form, her fingers skillfully navigating the buttons of his shirt. Every revealed inch of skin was a secret, igniting a longing for a bond that transcended the ordinary, stirring feelings she had never known before. As she slid the fabric of his shirt from his shoulders, Sarah leaned closer, her lips brushing against the delicate curve at the base of Lucas's throat. The flavor of his skin, laced with a whisper of cologne, was intoxicating, igniting a yearning for intimacy that defied the limits of their past. Lucas's hands found their way to Sarah's face, his thumbs softly tracing her cheekbones as he tilted her head back, sealing their connection with a kiss that whispered both curiosity and the intensity of his deepening emotions for her. It was a kiss that lingered in the air, a fleeting brush of lips that spoke volumes, hinting at a bond both profound and perilous. As they lost themselves in the thrill of the present, they intertwined in a quiet ballad of discovery, every brush, every whisper, pulling them deeper into the essence of their unspoken desire. Sarah sensed the heat of Lucas's longing close to her, a tantalizing reminder of the delicate balance they navigated between decorum and the magnetic draw of their hidden yearnings. As Lucas drew Sarah closer, their breaths mingled in the charged silence, his fingers tracing the delicate curves that spoke of unspoken desires. The lace of her lingerie whispered against his skin, a tantalizing friction that deepened the unspoken tension between them. With a fluid grace that echoed their earlier dance, Sarah found herself perched on Lucas's lap, her body fitting against his in a way that was both known and exhilaratingly fresh. The warmth of her essence enveloped him, the mere thought of their union igniting a thrill that danced along her skin. Lucas's breath brushed against her neck, his soft kisses tracing a path along her throat, each touch a whisper of the desire that lingered just out of reach between them. Sarah's hands glided over the contours of his back, her fingers following the line of his spine, surrendering to the unspoken pull between them. In the stillness of the apartment, where only their shared breaths broke the silence, Sarah and Lucas stood on the edge of a choice. A fleeting instant where memories intertwined with reality, and the horizon whispered secrets of what might unfold. In the quiet moments between them, an unacknowledged tension simmered, each touch a delicate dance around the weight of their circumstances, their yearning for intimacy transcending mere flesh. Their dance reached a delicate peak, a soft intertwining of their forms, a quiet fusion of souls that left them both on the brink of an experience that was deeply stirring and forever changing. They swayed in a harmony that felt instinctive, each second a silent acknowledgement of their bond and the unspoken intensity of their longing. As they stood at the peak of their secret connection, the outside world faded away, leaving only the electric tension that thrummed in the air, binding them in a moment where nothing else held significance. Their shared moment was a silent testament to the chemistry that sparked between them, a quiet acknowledgement of the walls they had dared to dismantle in pursuit of something more profound. The living room held a heavy silence, a quiet that lingered after unspoken truths had shifted the air between them. Sarah and Lucas reclined on the couch, their forms closely intertwined, the atmosphere thick with the remnants of their secret connection. The weight of their choices enveloped them, a silent acknowledgement of the boundary they had dared to breach. Sarah's voice, a soft murmur, pierced the stillness of the quiet apartment. "What have we created, Lucas?" she inquired, her gaze probing his for a hint of comprehension, a signal that he too was wrestling with the weight of their secret. Lucas turned to her, his eyes a blend of longing and unspoken sorrow. "I'm not sure, Sarah," he murmured, his fingers brushing softly against her cheek as he tucked a wayward strand of hair behind her ear. "Yet, I can't shake the feeling that this bond is unlike any I've ever known." It's a thrill wrapped in fear. They understood that what had just transpired was a moment etched in their minds, impossible to overlook or erase. It was a quiet upheaval in the fabric of their bond, woven from shared moments and unspoken understanding, now tinged with the electric pull of an attraction they dared not acknowledge. "This is something we can't overlook, Lucas. The pull is undeniable, the intensity overwhelming." Sarah spoke, her voice firm, as if the act of voicing her thoughts granted them a weight she could no longer ignore. "Yet, we must tread carefully, considering the shadows our choices cast, not only on ourselves but on all entwined in this delicate web." Lucas nodded, his gaze heavy with unspoken truths. "Indeed, it is our duty to honor both ourselves and the memory of my father, approaching this with the utmost delicacy and thoughtfulness. We mustn't allow our feelings to guide our choices." The exchange that ensued was marked by an unexpected vulnerability, a rare moment of truth between them. They whispered of their shadows and their dreams, their uncertainties and their longings. They whispered of the consequences that lingered in the shadows, the delicate balance of their worlds, and the unspoken weight it might bear on their futures. Amidst the gravity of their conversation, a thrill lingered in the air, a silent recognition of the undeniable pull that had ignited between them. It was an undeniable force, a magnetic allure that deepened with every fleeting second. As the night deepened, Sarah and Lucas reached a choice that felt both profound and fraught with unspoken consequences. They would navigate the electric bond that drew them together, treading lightly to shield themselves from prying eyes and whispered doubts. Their living room, once just a backdrop to routine, transformed into a hidden refuge where their unspoken longing could quietly flourish. It became a stage for the night, where Sarah's performances transcended mere memories, evolving into vivid moments that intensified the connection born from their secret longing. As dusk settled and the world outside faded, Sarah slipped into the crimson lace that whispered of their secret encounters, a silent promise of what was to come. With a dancer's elegance and a heart aflame, she glided to the cadence of a hidden tune, her form a vivid embodiment of the allure and passion that had ensnared Lucas from the start.